100 Reading Methods of Famous People. Life Series. Chief Editor, Limin. Sharing rewarding reading experiences even without seeing them. Deng Xiaoqing. Nobel Prize winner. Always maintain a curious and inquisitive mind towards learning. Think independently. Dig deep into the root of things. Pursue precision and practicality. Maintain skepticism towards any matter. Because through one type of observation, you can only see one side of things. Even with multifaceted observations, you still can't claim to fully understand the essence. So, keep a curious mindset. This will provide the motivation. Carefully verify everything. To avoid being left in the dark. Wang Qiyuan. Former Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, National Taiwan Normal University. Master the handcraft. Good memory is not as good as a bad pen. Because in the process of writing, it can stimulate the spatial imagination and visual thinking ability of the right brain. Rather than getting angry at yourself for not remembering, utilize writing to assist the right brain for better memory. Rote memorization that overemphasizes the left brain can create more problems. Balanced training of left and right brain. Using different colors and images and mind maps is even better. Wang Yan. Founder of Wang Yan Computers. The simplest method is the best, no matter how good the theory is. Without actual practice, no one knows what will happen. So, the fewer the components, the lower the chance of error. Wang Zuorong. Former Minister of the Examination Yuan. Don't fear slowness, only fear standing still. Devote 1 year to mastering one economics textbook. After reading it, spend another 3 months rereading it. Lay a solid foundation. Learn at your own pace and steadily, rather than being influenced by others' one-sided views, causing self-doubt and stagnation. Even if it's slow, but because you won't just stand still, you may end up going further. Wang Jianqian. Former Minister of Finance. 3-step reading method. Browsing. Close reading. Summarizing and organizing. Summarizing and organizing is making reading notes. Using writing to assist the right brain helps with memory. Wang Jiaming. Former Executive Yuan Policy Advisor. Seek breadth and depth. Don't be greedy for quantity. Broad scope. Delve deeply. Without sufficient depth, you'll end up gaining nothing. Wang Yunwu. Inventor of the 4-corner numbering system. Make reading cards. Clearly mark the book title and page numbers. Compile related titles and key points. Extremely convenient. Wang Zhengcai. Former Examination Yuan member. Never let problems accumulate. Resolve any doubts on the spot in the classroom. Wang Ganjun. China's first astronaut. Have the spirit of breaking through barriers and getting to the bottom of things. Gaining a sense of achievement from the solutions will provide more motivation to find the next question. Mao Zishui. Grand Master of Chinese Studies. Only keep one book on your desk at a time. Enhancing focus improves comprehension and absorption. Bai Xiuxiong. Former Deputy Mayor of Taipei City. Refer to at least 2 textbooks for each subject. Considering different perspectives. Thinking and judging from multiple angles. Shi Zi. Former Taiwan Provincial Council member. Seize any time and opportunity to read. Sima Zhongyuan. Famous novelist. First speed read, then appreciate the merits. Understand the overall concept of the book. Then slowly delve into the book's advantages. Mao Zongsan. Philosophical Grand Master. Pursuing the wisdom of life is true wisdom. Choose a path that resonates with the essence of life. Making academic pursuits coherent and lucid. Finding the joy in scholarship. Zhu Ziqing. Master of Essays. Always strive to be ahead of your time. Although cherishing time his whole life, but eats quickly to save time. Even a few days before his death, his diary still reminded himself not to be greedy. It's possible that because he ate too fast, insufficient saliva secretion led to digestive system malfunction, losing bodily balance. So it's still better to eat slowly. Zhu Gaoqing. Former legislator. Do the questions you are confident about first. Get the points you should get. Then challenge the more difficult questions. Just give up on the ones you don't know. Make the best use of the limited time. Li Yuansu. Former vice president. Value the effectiveness of reading. Focus your mind when reading. Maximize the use of the limited time. Li Kuan-yeung. Father of Taiwan's technology. Adhere to the philosophy of the empty can. Only by constantly maintaining a clear and humble mind, and preserving the desire to learn, can you spur yourself to absorb new knowledge. Li Tenghui. Former president. Leapfrog thinking, being one step ahead. Plot the next move in advance. Li Yuanzhu. Former president of Academia Sinica. Earnest and diligent. Build a solid foundation in the basic subjects. Never be careless. Li Zhongdui. Former chairman of the China Youth Corps. Divided sleeping method. Sleep in 3 segments of 1.5 hours each. Increase the effective reading time in a day. Li Jinyuan. Former academician of Academia Sinica. Don't overlook even the smallest problems. From the small to the big. Step by step entering a broader world. Li Yanqiu. Renowned news anchor. After setting a goal, put all efforts towards that goal of journalism. Wu Daiyo. Former president of Academia Sinica. Understand every word on the book. Be skeptical. And try to prove the errors in the book. Use diagrams and formulas and notes to express insights. Mark important parts with red pen. Use color and imagery to assist right brain memory. Develop left and right brain in balance. Wu Hongyi. Former director of the Institute of Philosophy, Academia Sinica. Read a book in 2 to 3 hours. First skim through it to understand the overall outline. Then reread a few times based on interest level. Wu Shunwen. Former chairman of Yulon Group. Seize every reading opportunity. When temporarily learned at U.S. Customs that the college application deadline had closed, Columbia University rejected his transfer application on the grounds of not stealing students. After his persistent efforts, Columbia agreed to let him first take summer courses at NYU and get high scores, before allowing him to apply for admission. Each person's reading opportunities and time are chances to develop the brain, which can change one's life path. Wu Jianxiong, former academician of Academia Sinica. 4 key principles of reading methods: interest, effort, perseverance, patience. Interest allows you to continue. In addition to having the talent of a rabbit, you also need the painstaking effort of a tortoise. Shen Zonghan, agricultural expert. Overcome difficulties to study hard. Turn dreams into ideals. Growing up in poverty, relied on loans and scholarships to complete his studies. Pricking his flesh with his nails. Pounding his head with his fist. To stay alert. To change the course of his life. Shen Junshan, former president of National Tsinghua University. If the foundation is not laid well, it's a lifetime failure. First clarify the basic concepts, so as not to go astray. Shen Qingsong, former professor of philosophy, National Chengchi University. Grasp the style and key points in the first 40 pages. Once you understand the author's habitual thinking and vocabulary, the rest will be as easy as drinking water. Song Chuyu, former magistrate of Taiwan Province. Advocate for a regular lifestyle. Absolutely no late night studying. If the motivation to read decreases, go to the coveted university and walk around. Imagine your future self there in high spirits. To stimulate the restoration of self-confidence and fighting spirit. Ruan Danian, former president of Tunghai University. Beethoven's music is his favorite companion when reading. Yu Zhao, former director of the Department of Cultural Affairs, Ministry of Education. When learning foreign languages, grasp the principle of learning and using simultaneously. Boldly speak up. Try to utilize it as much as possible. Attempt to think in the foreign language. Yu Guangzhong, renowned poet. Reading is like making friends. A book rich in wisdom and philosophy. Treat it as an intimate friend and reread it in death. Books that are just skimmed are like nodding acquaintances. If ever needed, you'll know where to find them. L.V. Ronghai, renowned lawyer. Diligently read history books to cultivate a forward-looking perspective. History books are like elixirs in martial arts novels. Can grant a lifespan of decades. The wisdom of hundreds or even thousands of years. Lin Yanggang, former president of the Judicial Yuan. Biographies of famous people are his best guide for establishing oneself, pursuing academic studies, and conduct in life. Lin Qingxian, renowned writer. Travel thousands of miles and read thousands of volumes. Immerse yourself in different places. Explore local customs and culture. Expand your horizons and open your mind. Lin Yutong, humor master. Interest is the driving force for reading. A book that resonates with one's own temperament can generate deep empathy and profound gains. Xiao Yuming, former professor at National Chengchi University. Never put the book down. Observe life. Once walked and read, falling into a ditch. So can make small cards to record key points before walking. Safer when walking. Also work part-time as a bartender. To practice English while experiencing local culture. Qiu Chuanwan, former president of the Examination Yuan. Summarize key points into charts. Qiu Zhang, renowned lawyer. Utilize the effectiveness of multitasking. Speak while simultaneously organizing documents and handling business. Zhou Lianhua, Baptist minister. There are 3 key factors in studying. Strength of one's willingness. Whether one receives encouragement. Whether the method is correct. Zhou Lianhua recalled that when his English was not good, he started learning Greek instead. With dozens of grammar rules changing back and forth, it was extremely difficult. He realized that solidifying the foundation is the correct method. Liang Xian, renowned writer. Balance systematicness and breadth. Systematic knowledge is the foundation for one's existence. Broad knowledge expands one's horizons and broadens one's mind. Zhu Jing, former Deputy Secretary General of the KMT. Utilize time effectively. Don't drive at night. Shi Qinyong, chairman of Acer Inc. Plan reading. Cultivate a forward-looking perspective. Propose strategies early to get ahead in the fierce market competition. Hu Shi, renowned literary scholar. Advocated the 4-2 of reading. Eye to, mouth to, heart to, hand to. Boldly hypothesize, carefully verify. 4 good habits. Diligence, not lazy. Carefulness, not careless. Harmony, not arbitrary. Patience, not hasty in drawing conclusions. Nan Fangshua, veteran commentator. The previous book is a springboard for the next book. Lighting up the higher knowledge tree sometimes has conditions. In cases where the conditions are unclear, light up the lower knowledge trees that are closest one by one. Because mastering more basic knowledge can sometimes skip the conditions and directly light up the higher knowledge tree. Sigua, renowned essayist. There is no subject that cannot be self-taught. The key to successful self-study is the amount of time invested and degree of focus. Yu Dewey, strategy expert. Play big on big exams, play small on small exams. Don't play if there's no exam. If reading is only for the purpose of exams, it will be impossible to read well. Diligently study every day. Be relaxed during exams. Sun Yat-sen, revolutionary. Don't be a two-legged bookshelf. Emphasize both learning and thinking. Apply the knowledge from books to the realities of society. Sun Yun-suan, former national policy advisor. Read in a clear-minded state. When tired of reading, go out and be active. Both dynamic and static activities allow the rested part of the brain to be used, achieving a balanced development. Sun Jian, former president of National Taiwan University, utilized writing to organize thoughts. Outputting the learned knowledge through writing can help systematize, standardize, and enrich fragmented knowledge. Ming Zhu, former president, take diligent notes in class, promptly review after class. Su Li, former deputy premier, humbly seek advice from subordinates. Read relevant domestic and international materials diligently. Constantly ponder on issues. Su Shui, former KMT Secretary General, stimulate brain power through discussion. To discuss with each other, must have a comprehensive understanding of the subject matter. The books read are deeply imprinted in the subconscious. Su Chaoyun, former academician of Academia Sinica, extensive learning in multiple fields. Absorb the training methods of different disciplines. Expand the angles to think about problems. Extensive reading. Integrating knowledge is like solving a puzzle, sometimes seeming useless, but proven valuable when applied. Liang Qichao, famous modern scholar. Brain power lies not in memory, but in analysis. Utilize methods well. Connect what is learned. Digest it into one's own scholarship. Liang Shirzhu, renowned literary scholar. Choose authoritative versions. Adopt the method of reading in segments. Fixed speed. Fixed page count. Gradually comprehend the meaning in the books. Harvest more. Zhang Xiaozi, former president of Dongwu University. Bring a recorder to class. After class, rewrite the notes based on the recording. Strive for completeness. Guo Weifan, former minister of education. Reading books is like building a house. The higher the floors, the more important the foundation. Huang Dazhou, former mayor of Taipei City. The diligent steady approach of 2 points and 1 line. 2 points being the dorm and the school. 1 line being the route between them. Huang Yanggu, former professor at Taipei Normal College. Take the most foolish path. Copying books. Best to use different colors when copying. Utilize the right brain to aid memory. Huang Kuenhui, former minister of the interior. Recite a segment of English every day. Read it out loud. On one hand, strengthen memory. On the other, practice speaking. Lin Chan, former premier. Outdoor activities and study time are proportional. Doesn't like rote studying. Study hard when studying, play hard when playing. Chen Changwen, renowned lawyer. Apart from attending class and doing research, spends most of the time in the library. Lunch and dinner are each a simple sandwich. Self-proclaimed sandwich doctor. Chen Qinghui, renowned writer. There is no writer in the world who does not read books. Chen Xiangmei, renowned writer. Reads books while making marginal notes. The book pages are filled with red and green markings. The more she writes, the more profound the impression. Using colors to assist right brain memory. Su Haoping, renowned writer. For knowledge that interests him, first does a comprehensive survey, then selects the crucial parts to delve into. Extracts higher-level learning from professional books. Gu Jinbao, renowned entrepreneur. Knowledge and thinking grow together. Daily work and reading reflections must be organized and summarized in the mind, then transformed into practical wisdom. Fei Jinghan, former academician at Academia Sinica, was poor at math from a young age, even to the point of being extremely afraid of it. Chose to study economics just to avoid math. After going to the US, he realized, only by first mastering math could he outperform others in coursework. He asked a Chinese student to teach him the basic concepts, then spent 3 summer months in seclusion intensively studying. Thoroughly did all the textbook exercises from beginning to end. Thus completed the 1-year calculus course entirely through self-study. Before obtaining his PhD, he had already taken over 30 math courses. Not only did his math phobia completely disappear, but it also laid a solid foundation for his later research. Fu Peirong, former professor at NTU Philosophy Department, for foreign language practice translation. Apart from asking teachers for corrections, using bilingual books as templates is a convenient self-study material for learners. Before learning a foreign language, first confirm the goals and focus. For example, if the goal is reading with the main aim of comprehending academic journals, then put in extra effort on specialized terminology. First quickly read through a good language textbook. Then focus practice on the most difficult parts. Afterwards, do practical exercises using the original texts, selecting relevant chapters for targeted breakthroughs. Fu Peirong proposes strong motivation, suitable materials, intensive courses as the proper approach to learn a foreign language well. Yang Jining, Nobel laureate, doesn't get stuck in a rut, advances in the directions that interest him, conducts experiments based on intuition. 10% accuracy is enough. Yang Guoshu, former professor at NTU Psychology Department, in the process of studying, if one can get guidance from elders and discuss with like-minded peers, divide the books to be read into essentials, necessities, secondary, and unnecessary, is the most time and energy-saving method. Wu Kunru, former professor at NTU Philosophy Department, to thoroughly explore an issue, goes through 3 steps: historical development, internal implications, contemporary significance. Only then can one delve into the core. Chao Xiaokang, former Secretary General of the New Party. The main focus of American education is to train students in problem-solving abilities. The reasoning process is more valued than standard answers. Always maintains an interesting and challenging mindset. Naturally ignites the fighting spirit to overcome difficulties. Zhao Shoubo, former Secretary General of the Executive Yuan, fully utilizes commuting time to read books. Zhao Liliang. Language education expert. Chinese students like rote memorization but can't apply it flexibly. If they frequently practice short compositions or Chinese to English translation, it can improve their expressive abilities. Lu Yong. Renowned writer. For things that are hard to memorize by heart, just summarize and write the key points on the page margins. Quickly skim through before reading. After reading multiple times, the content naturally sticks. Make small cards and review them anytime. Leaves a deeper impression in the mind than pure rote memorization. Treating the brain like a computer inputting data. Zhang Mingli. Renowned writer. Whether the research materials are ancient or modern, must approach them with a contemporary perspective. Chiang Kai-shek. Politician. With utmost sincerity and no deception. Seek truth and discard falsehood. Read books in pursuit of truth and reality. Neither self-deceptive nor perfunctory. Pay attention to precision. Time and numbers must not be vague. Seek truth and refinement. Explain the origins and conclusions. Cultivate the good habit of daily lifelong learning. Chang Manlin. Former president of Peking University. The conflict between Chinese and Western cultures almost drove him to madness. But after this baptism, it helped him achieve a thorough integration in his scholarly pursuits. Doesn't like rote memorization. Prefers to acquire knowledge through observation, touch, and understanding. Chang Qinghua. Politician. With grasping theories as the main goal, applying them in practice. Chang Weikua. Former policy advisor to the president. Attentive and focused in class. Supplements and highlights are written in the book margins. Divides an article into paragraphs with annotations and summaries. After class, reorganizes these notes and records them in a notebook. Sai Yuan Huang. Former professor at NTU Foreign Languages Department. Writing is an expression of thinking. Chinese and English have different thinking habits. When learning English, try to avoid using the Chinese way of thinking. Liang Chao. Former Provincial Finance Bureau chief. There is no secret to exams. An appropriate study plan and genuine interest are the keys to success. Has a reading plan for each month, week, and day. Allocates the books to be read by difficulty level across each day's progress. Only reads those few dozen pages per day, no more. Lets curiosity and the desire to learn fully fuel the interest. Persists in this steady, gradual approach. Yin Qinheng. Former professor at NCCU. Observes different teachers' teaching methods. Explores the reading approaches suited to oneself. Qian Xiliang. Former president of Academia Sinica. Diligently takes notes. Emphasizes both memory and thinking. Systematic and methodical learning, combined with repeated reasoning and analysis, is not easily forgotten, and can also be inspirational. Qian Fu. Former foreign minister. Calculated that he could read 20 pages and summarize the key points in 1 hour, so 2,000 pages would require 14 hours per day to keep up. Therefore, took it step by step, slowly catching up on the progress. Shui Yuqi. Seasoned diplomat. Is thoroughly familiar with international law and precedents. Also collected nearly 1,000 jokes written on cards. Appropriately applied in diplomatic occasions. Often achieved unexpectedly good effects. Yin Yuanshu. Former professor at NTU Foreign Languages Department. Intensive learning. Dedicates a fixed time each day to study English. Language learning fears discontinuity. Taking a class every 2 or 3 days. Learns and forgets alternatively. Reciting aloud reinforces memory. Xiao Hsin Wang. Former research fellow at Academia Sinica. Attaches importance to a reading plan. Lists the required courses and thesis writing timeline. Draws up a reading process flowchart. Reviews and improves it at the end of each semester. Xiao Mingwu. Legal scholar. When reading, seek breadth first, then depth. Luo Guang. Former archbishop. Concentration and patience complement each other. Dedicates 2 fixed hours per day to focused writing. Maintains uninterrupted patience. Luo Zongtao. Former professor at NCCU Institute of Chinese Studies. Makes good use of fragmented time. After memorizing a passage, gets up to do laundry while reciting it again. When the mind wanders, copying texts. Can quickly regain focus. Jian Yoshin. Former representative to the UK. Emphasizes the order of learning. Overly involved in extracurriculars in freshman/sophomore years, resulting in poor academic performance. Realized reading should take priority, followed by gaining learning experience through activities. Su Yupin. Renowned idol singer. Recognizes from past exam questions that the college entrance exam mainly tests conceptual integration. Doesn't waste time delving into overly niche or difficult questions. Focuses the effort on understanding the core concepts. Gu Jiegong. Historian. Starts from reading notes. Reading notes can feed into thesis writing. Enrich published works. Achieve immortality. Gong Pengcheng. Former official at Mainland Affairs Council. Treats reading as a game. Naturally relaxes the mind. Without burden. Unconsciously enjoys the pleasures of reading.